Welcome back to another episode of Keeping Up with Clay Chalkville. It's a new year, and with that comes a fresh start. This month, we have included stories about self-care, mental health, New Year resolutions, and more. We will also be giving some advice for those of you that may be looking for a new job in 2022. Let's get started.
The Proud Family. What?
Our first video is an update on what Jefferson County schools are doing to address learning loss due to COVID-19. Here's Sam Nesbitt with the story.
Did you improve on your iReady test scores?
I don't think so.
My scores actually declined.
I did improve on my iReady testing.
I don't think so.
Only a little bit? No, I did not improve.
My scores went down?
I don't think so. I really don't care.
Hello, Clay Chalkville. I'm Sam Nesbitt. I'm here with a follow-up video on Jeff Coed learning loss. We did testing in winter, and the results were not what we expected or what we wanted. I'm here talking to Miss Whitley and Mr. Lee on how we can improve scores in our spring testing.
Hi, my name is Pamela Whitley. I'm the instructional coach for Clay Chalkville High School. Unfortunately, no, scores did not improve the way that we had wanted them to, and also the number of students that had tested was down from our fall data. We basically think, we being the administrative staff and a lot of the teachers feel that the scores need to improve based on the students wanting to improve the scores, because we had over 100 students rush. It gives a yellow and a red flag for every student that rushes through, and we had over 100 rush through the math, and we had almost as many in the math rush through the reading.
After I talked to Miss Whitley, I went over to Mr. Lee to see if he had anything to say and what his opinion was.
So when you look at the data from the fall to the winter testing, it's disappointing because our numbers dropped, but the main disappointment that I have is that we dropped because it's obvious in looking at some things that I'm able to look at that our kids, a lot of kids, didn't try their best. So when you look at data and you look at the numbers, yes, our scores went down, but that doesn't take into consideration the kids who did well. What really hurt us on the test was the fact that we had students that didn't do their best. And I think that what we've always tried to portray at Clay Chalkville High School and what we've always tried to encourage you guys to do is, regardless, always do your best in anything that you do. And I don't think that we did our best. So we're going to do a better job moving forward as teachers, as administrators, of making sure that students understand why it's important that we do well on this and what the teachers and what we're able to do with the data we get from those tests. But I think that anything you ever do, you're building skills, and those skills may not be important to you at the moment, but those skills are going to help you. You know, I've always told you guys, I care more about you when you're 30 than I do now. So, you know, I love you all now, but I want you to be successful, and I want you to look back and go, you know what, I learned this skill. I learned, if I learned nothing else, I learned to work hard. So I just think it's important that we do our best on this test, and it's coming up in the spring. We've got to do our best on the test, and I'm just encouraging everybody to do your best, and that's all we're asking.
After the interview, Mr. Lee told me that he had some encouraging words that he wanted the students to hear when they go into their spring testing and the future.
Anything we can do to show y'all the importance, we're going to do and try to do, because I know that Clay Chalkville High School is much better than the scores we got in the winter test, so our spring test I know is going to be better. As teachers, as the principal, I think that's something we need to talk to students about. I mean, honestly, because The exemption of exam, for some people, that's great. You know, some people want to exempt an exam. Other people would like to do other things. So, you know, I think a lot of times, and I have teenage kids at home, my children. And so a lot of times as adults, we assume that we know what would be a great incentive for young people, but I know that we need to hear you and we need to hear what students say. You know, this year has been a tough year for me personally. And I haven't been as present with you, with students as I have been in the past. And then you go back and you think about the COVID years where some people were at school, some people weren't. It's just been a crazy few years, you know, and I realize that. The thing that I need everybody to know is that regardless of what a number says about you, we're always proud of you. We know what you're capable of. And like I've said, I love all of you, even if you don't believe it. I just want the best for you. But I will listen to you. I'm willing to talk to any of you at any time. Like I said, this has just been kind of a tough year for me. But I hope all the students here know that I'm available, I care, I want to listen to you. And I think that I'm not the only one here that feels that way. Anytime we can do anything for you guys, we're always willing to.
The pandemic has not only impacted student learning, but also their mental health. Next, we have Autumn Bryant giving us an overview on teenage mental health and different techniques on how to cope with it.
It's the start of a new year. Mental health, can we talk about it? Hey, this is Autumn Bryant with CCN TV. I want to discuss the importance of staying healthy and being positive even when things don't feel right. Studies have shown that more than 1 in 3 high school students have experienced persistent feelings of sadness or hopelessness in 2019, a 40% increase since 2009. That was in 2019, a pre-pandemic. Do you know how it's increased since then? No? Let me tell you. We, the youth, have the highest rate of depression. Also, according to research, 13.84% of the youth have at least one major depressive episode in the past year, 2021. Guys, we cannot let this go unnoticed or untreated. We need to speak up and solve this.
My name is Samantha Nesbitt and I'm 17 years old. It's a choice every day. Some days are easier. It's not like the weight off my shoulders has gotten any lighter since I've started taking antidepressants and gone to therapy. It's just that I've gotten stronger. Talking to a therapist was a third party that had no clue about my life. And instead of other people telling me what my life was and what I was feeling, I got to tell her, this is what I'm feeling, this is what my life is, from my point of view. Talk. If you are going through something like this, talk. I promise, I know you think you can keep it in forever. I kept it in for years on years on years on end, and I thought that I could just go through the winter time, be depressed, go into summer, get all that nice vitamin D and feel better again. But you cannot hold it in forever.
I want to thank Sam for her time and for being open. Now we will hear from a counselor's and adult's point of view from Ms. Devon.
My name is Erica Devon, and I'm a school counselor at Clay Chalkville High School. Well, I think it's really important to set reasonable expectations for yourself. Sometimes when we start off a new year, we think we have to put all of these boundaries and rules in place, and then if you break one of those rules, then you feel like, well, let's just get rid of everything. Just set reasonable expectations. Also, I think it's important to start a routine and try to maintain that routine. For some students, that is working out, like maybe when you wake up in the morning, you get dressed, you get ready, and then for 30 minutes you want to work out each day. Try to maintain that. Also, staying connected to friends and family. That is really important, that you touch base with those that care about you, and you are not alone, even though it normally feels like you are. Reach out to a teacher, a friend, your school counselor. Let someone know that you need help, because there are resources out there for everyone. And even though I may not know the answer to every question, I'm going to be able to help you find the resource that can help you and your family.
Thank you, Ms. Devon. That was very helpful, and thank you for your time. I want to leave you guys with a little nugget of wisdom. Your mental health is not a joke. Please look into your situation. Don't sit in silence. There's always someone for you. All you have to do is call one of these numbers. This has been Autumn Bryant with CCN TV.
As we hope to see the mental health in teens improve, Tiffany Davis was able to gather some students and teachers on how to properly take care of yourself in a beneficial way.
Welcome to the Self-Care Talk with T. Every year, people make New Year resolutions, and I want to share 7 self-care actions you can add in your daily life to make this year your best year. I decided to interview teachers and students at CCHS and get their perspective on self-care. Let's get into it.
The way I incorporate self-care in my daily life is make sure I am taking care of myself, that I am okay, and just putting myself first, basically.
What it is to me is like keeping your state of mind and your peace.
Self-care to me is taking care of my body, doing like pamper days for myself, meditating and doing stuff for my self-care is giving yourself the things and time you need to be your best self.
Incorporate self-care by like taking care of my mental health. I've been able to keep my grades up.
My coping mechanism or my escape really has always been reading. I just shut the world out and I focus on the book I'm reading, and I'm worried somebody else has bigger worries than I have, so my life doesn't seem quite so important at that point. It's an important thing to have, and I think it's something we've always done, and it's just been brought to light, and now it's become important, and I hope everybody finds something they can do and come see me if you need a book.
Now, I'm going to give you 7 self-care activities I do in my daily life. 1, you can go for a walk. In the video, I went to Cosby Lake. 2, affirmations.
I am worth it, I am who I am, and God made me who I am.
You're beautiful just the way you are.
I'm great, and I love myself.
I am beautiful, I am confident, I am enough, and I know my worth. Love yourself.
Never give up.
The third self-care you can do is listening to your body and giving it what it needs. So in this case, stretching. The fourth thing you can do that is small but very effective, journaling emotions. Following this self-care action, the next one you can do is taking a bath. The last self-care action you can do includes 2 things: hanging with your friends and doing what you love to do.
If you guys didn't know, course selection is coming up, and many of you guys are deciding on what classes you guys want to take. Elizabeth Whitley has a story on some of the new programs that will be offered to our students.
Hey CCHS, it's Elizabeth Whitley. This past week I had the chance to interview Miss Gillette and Miss Bridges about a new academy coming to our school. It's called Signature Academies. You'll be able to get certified in things like biomedical sciences with Miss Bridges and even an automotive repair service at Shades Valley High School.
My name is Abby Gillette. I teach television production at Clay Chalkville High School. I think the thing that I'm looking forward to the most about the Signature Academies is just the opportunity that it's going to provide to more students, and hopefully this is going to grow our program even more. I have just been amazed at how much our program has grown just over the last 5 years. We started out as just like one broadcast class that met during 4th block, and now I'm teaching several different levels of the course. So it really excites me to think about other students coming in and potentially adding even more levels to the course and to the program. So the Signature Academy model is something that Jefferson County has been working on for several years. And the ultimate goal for the Signature Academy program is to just provide students from across the county with as many opportunities as possible before they graduate from high school. So they have paired students from different schools together. We are paired with Shades Valley High School. And so there are now going to be opportunities that will be available to students at Clay Chalkville High School that we might not have been able to offer before. So for example, there is going to be an automotive technology program at Shades Valley High School that students from our school can get on a bus and go to Shades Valley to attend. Prior to this program being implemented, if you wanted to learn anything about TV production and you were a student at Shades Valley High School, you just wouldn't have had that opportunity. So I think that that is the main goal, is to give these students that are all across the county, regardless of what school you're zoned for, it will give you an opportunity to be a part of a program at one of the schools in our district. I don't have concerns with mixing students. I actually think it'll be a really good thing for our students to interact with kids from another school. My only concerns, I would say, have to do with the logistics of everything. When you have students coming in on a bus, you guys see even just this year, like we don't always have bus drivers, and so sometimes we have late buses. Part of me wonders if that's going to factor in next year as well, like getting these students to and from the places that they need to be.
My name is Miss Bridges, and I'll be teaching biomedical science at Clay Chalkville High School. The course entails 4 different classes. The beginning class is called Principles of Biomedical Science. The second class is called Human Body Systems. The third is called Medical Interventions, and the fourth has to do with biomedical interventions. So the first class, sort of the basement level class, is Principles of Biomedical Science, and we'll be teaching that here at Clay Chalkville in the fall of 2022 in the academies. I don't really have any concerns about other students coming here from Shades Valley. We're happy to have them, and excited that we can offer this to other schools besides our students here at Clay Chalkville.
Thanks, CCHS. Back to you, Simone.
Next, we have Cody Moreno on different ways on getting a job and how to get involved in the co-op program.
Hey CCHS, I'm Cody Marino, and today we're going to be going over the new job opportunities that have been opening up in our community.
My name is Sonia Scheer. I'm a marketing teacher and work-based learning coordinator. If you're looking for your first job, be patient. Plenty of people are hiring right now. You just have to go and seek them. A lot of businesses will hire online, so you could go to a website. Walmart hires online, Target hires online, or you could fill it out at the kiosk. But there are still a lot of places who will get you to do pen and paper, but most people would do it online, so I would say search online. So co-op, or as we term it now, work-based learning, is where you get out of school early and you earn school credit for having a part-time job. It is different than early out. Early out, you don't have anything on your schedule, but with work-based learning, you would have a class that you would have on your schedule, and you would be responsible for turning in paperwork to me, and then I check on you at your job once a month and see how you're doing and see what the employer has to say about you. Job opportunities. As much as people don't want to work at a fast food or restaurant or grocery store, I would say that's the best place to start when you don't have any experience. I would also recommend think of applying at a place where you currently shop. So if you go to Taco Bell every day after school and you know the menu, then you might be a good employee for them because you know what they're selling. Or if you go to a particular, like a Walmart or a TJ Maxx, if you shop there, I would recommend applying for a job there. You know the business, you know what they sell, and so you should be a good sales associate or a good fit for them.
Thanks, Ms. Scheer. Back to you, Simone.
Finally, we have Tristan Webster, who recently visited the new Tractor Supply and highlighted the new business opened in our community.
Hey CCHS, it's Tristan Webster, and today we're going to be looking at a new business that is open in our community. A new business around us today is Tractor Supply. Tractor Supply is a store that sells outdoor and farm equipment. They sell items like shovels, rakes, and feed for your animals. They sell cages to catch rodents and any type of screw or bolt that you might need. Hey, they even sell mini bikes and lawnmowers, and even parts for tractors. Overall, Tractor Supply is the best type of industrial hardware store for people who need a variety of hardware.
Stay tuned for next month's episode highlighting Black culture and history. See you later, Clay Chalkville.